He played for the Bengals.
Thank you guys for joining us here for another episode of State of the Jungle, live from the First Star Logistics Studio here in Cincinnati, Ohio. I'm your host, Malik Wright, joined by my main man, Logan Fulmer. We are back. We are excited. We are jazzed up, and I got my voice back. Cincinnati Bengals beat the Chiefs. Who would have predicted it? Not me, right? Not me. Like, look at us. Who would have thought? Not me. No, but the Bengals beat the Kansas City Chiefs. They proved that they are the measuring stick in the AFC. And you know what? I just got to say I'm excited. I'm pumped up. But before we jump right into the show, the jam-packed show, make sure you guys give this video a like. Make sure you guys subscribe to the YouTube channel. And make sure you guys leave your comments, bring your questions, and as we always say each and every single week, bring your popcorn because we have a lot to talk about, a lot to get into. But before we do, Logan, Bengals beat the Chiefs. We are now 3-0 against Patrick Mahomes, and those boys. And you know what? There was a lot of talk leading up to this year. There was a lot of talk leading up to this game that the Bengals were frauds. The Bengals were flukes. The Bengals will be humbled. Mahomes was going to destroy the Cincinnati Bengals. The Chiefs were finally going to beat the Cincinnati Bengals. That was the talk that we heard. Yeah. All we heard was the Chiefs were the team to beat. That is what we've been sold. Everyone was saying the Cincinnati Bengals run last year was a fluke. Well, you know what's funny? The dust settled after Sunday's victory. The dust settled. And guess what? The Cincinnati Bengals prove the AFC still runs through Cincinnati. So if you don't know, now you know. And Logan, I got to get your opinion on it. What was your thoughts on the game?
Man, first off, always a classic when we play the Chiefs. You know, on the right side 3 times in a row, it's ain't a coincidence if it's 3 times. But, you know, we kind of talked last week on the show. The Bengals have everything they want in front of them. Everything they want to prove, they have the opportunity to do so down the stretch of the season. And it started with the Kansas City Chiefs, and he answered the bell. Next week, you got the Browns, and then, you know, you continue and continue. But for now, you took care of business against the Chiefs. That's big. That goes a big way for a lot of people. Some people already knew we were better than the Chiefs. Some people still didn't want to believe, but they're continuing to prove everybody they are legit. Like I said last week, they're not always going to get the respect they deserve, but they have every opportunity to earn it throughout the rest of the season. And there's no better way to start that than beating what everybody thought was the best team in the NFL.
You know what? I just want to ask people, what's the excuse now? Yeah. There was a lot of disrespect coming to Cincinnati Bengals' way. What is the excuse now? There was a lot of talk, a lot of chatter, a lot of people talking a lot of crap, saying things that didn't make sense. What is the excuse now? People said the Cincinnati Bengals didn't deserve to be in the spot. People said the Cincinnati Bengals, you know, we're going to lose to the Chiefs. And I know I hate that I keep reiterating it, but there was just a lot of trash talk. There was just a lot of trash talk. And you know what? I had this game circled on my calendar. People keep asking, though, how did the Bengals beat the Chiefs? And I want to make sure I'm crystal clear to all my Chiefs fans out there. And I met some pretty cool Chiefs fans at the game. I got a chance to watch it live from the First Star Logistics Suite, and it was pretty awesome. The atmosphere was awesome. Me and my buddy running out of the stadium to make sure he made it to his flight back to New York City was awesome. But I'll tell you what was even more awesome, man. Seeing the way Joe Burrow was a surgeon. Seeing the way Joe Burrow and those Cincinnati Bengals operated as if they were the New England Patriots of 2013, 2014, 2015. That was pretty awesome. This Bengals football team has evolved. This Bengals football team is no longer one-dimensional. This Bengals football team has so many different ways that they can beat you that it has to keep you honest. Whether it's via Samaje Perine or Joe Mixon or throwing it to your slot wide receiver or throwing it to Trenton Irwin or throwing it to the T. Higgins or throwing it to the Jamar Chases. This Bengals football team has so many different ways that they can beat you. But let me tell you why the Bengals beat the Kansas City Chiefs. Because the Cincinnati Bengals realize they have to run their own race. The Cincinnati Bengals realize that they have to play their own game. They don't go into the game with the Kansas City Chiefs saying, you know what, we have to go tit for tat with them. That's not what they do. The Cincinnati Bengals say, you know what, we have to make sure we control the clock. We have to make sure that we effectively run the ball. We have to make sure that we trust our Jimmies and Joes and not always our X's and O's. The Cincinnati Bengals make sure that they are playing their game. It's like a boxing, right? You go out there with a guy that wants to get into a brawl. So you don't fight a guy that wants to get into a brawl. What do? If you're fighting a guy that's a brawler? You throw jabs out there at him. You throw jabs to the body. You make him slow down. You make him fight your fight. You make him fight a patient fight. And what the Cincinnati Bengals did is they made the Chiefs fight a patient fight. Let me explain something to the Chiefs fans out there. The Cincinnati Bengals are not the Buffalo Bills. The Cincinnati Bengals are not going to go haymaker for haymaker with you. The Cincinnati Bengals are going to make you play our game. The Cincinnati Bengals are going to make you be disciplined. That's why the Cincinnati Bengals have kicked the Chiefs' ass, and that's why the Cincinnati Bengals will continue to kick the Chiefs' ass. And not to mention, the Chiefs still don't have a defense. They have a fence. I've been saying it time and time again. This is not a new song and dance. This is the same old thing that I've been saying time and time again. I guess it just took people a long time to finally listen up. The Chiefs are going to always struggle with the Cincinnati Bengals unless they're able to adapt. And it's for that exact same reason I think the Bills are going to struggle against the Cincinnati Bengals, because the Bills are used to playing this shootout type of football style. The Cincinnati Bengals, we can play that way. We've proved it all last year, but that is not our MO. Our MO now is to make you play disciplined football. Who can be disciplined? That is the question. That is how you're going to beat the Bengals. If you don't believe me, ask the Cleveland Browns. The Cleveland Browns play their brand of football against the Bengals. What is that? They run the ball effectively, get up to a lead, and they control the clock. The Bills still struggle running the ball consistently. The Chiefs still struggle running the ball consistently, although I will say Isaiah Pacheco impressed me. He did. Should have got more carries in that game. I think that as long as the Chiefs are the Chiefs and are stubborn in their ways, as long as Steve Spagnuolo is still the Chiefs defensive coordinator, I don't believe Patrick Mahomes will hoist another Lombardi trophy there. I said it. The Bengals are the juggernauts of the AFC. The Bengals are the talk of the town. The Cincinnati Bengals are the defending AFC champions. And Logan, Daniel, listeners, viewers, the AFC still runs through Cincinnati. Logan.
Yeah, the biggest thing I kind of wanted to touch on a little bit more is we kind of talked about it last week, how we need to have these long, sustainable drives, and we did that. And you talked about, trusting your Jimmy and Joes and just being a complete football team.
Yeah.
That was one of the biggest games we have played ever. And you had Samaje Perine, hell of a game. Trevion Williams had impactful touches. Chris Evans scored a touchdown. Trent Taylor had a touch. Trent Irwin had a touch. Mitchell Wilcox had key blocks. Like, everybody wants to talk about T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd, Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, and rightfully so. Those people will win you plenty of games. But if the guys on your roster that are going to play, all those guys I just listed, those guys can win you just as many games as the people can, because they're going to get opportunities, and they continue to get these opportunities and make the most of them. You're only as good as the worst player on your team. Thankfully, the Bengals have a deep, complete roster, and it really showed last week against Kansas City. Kansas City didn't really have some of those people. They traded for Kadarius Toney. He wasn't out. The receivers didn't really do too much. Travis Kelce wasn't really involved. The Bengals defense did a great job at making those smaller name people beat them, and they didn't. And that's why the Bengals won, because they had more people step up to the plate than the Chiefs did.
Talk about it. And the Bengals also have depth. The Bengals also have a lot of talent that they rely on. But put Aiden's comment back up real quick if you can. He said the Bengals should be treated as Super Bowl favorites. You're damn right they should be. 100% they should be. There is not a team in the NFL right now that the Cincinnati Bengals can't beat. There is not a team in the NFL right now that the Cincinnati Bengals can't beat. One more time. There is not a team in the NFL that the Cincinnati Bengals cannot beat. And that might make people uncomfortable. That might make the folks over at ESPN uncomfortable. That might make the folks over at Fox Sports uncomfortable. That may make the talking heads like Shannon Sharp, Skip Bayless, Stephen A. Smith, Keyshawn Johnson, the list goes on, uncomfortable. But guess what? The Bengals have arrived. Cincinnati, this is the team that you've always longed for. This is the winning culture that you've always strived for. You have every right to be excited about the future of this team. You have the right coaching staff. You have the right quarterback. You have the right playmakers. This team is special. In a lot of ways, this team is better than last year's team. The offensive line was talked about a lot. The offensive line was talked about as if, they said the offensive line was Swiss cheese. The offensive line was horrible. What are they saying now? The offensive line has performed like one of the best offensive lines in football the last few weeks. What are they going to say now? I need answers. What are they going to say? You can't say the Bengals are going to go one and done in the playoffs anymore. We broke that. You can't say Joe Burrow isn't elite. He proved that. What are they going to say? You can't say Zach Taylor isn't a good play caller. He's proved you wrong already. Listen, the fact of the matter is, never in my life, in all my years of being a supporter of this team, have I ever seen a team more confident. I said it on the sit down, which you guys can catch Mondays at 11 a.m. Eastern time with Daniel and Meg. I said, the Cincinnati Bengals, Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase are playing like alpha males. They are playing like they are the most dominant players in their sport, in their field. The confidence shows. The confidence shows on this football team. It rings through the entire organization. It rings through the offense, through the defense, through the special teams. It rings through. And it should damn well ring through the fan base. The Cincinnati Bengals are on to something special this year. There were so many people that said, Malik, you are too high on this team. Am I too high now? Do I have your attention now? Does this team have your attention now? Does this city have your attention now? I look at the remaining games on the schedule and I say this. I say there is not a team on the Bengals schedule remaining that this Bengals football team can't beat. And I truly feel that way. I truly feel that way. This team is special. And I came to Cincinnati for moments like this. If the national media won't give them the coverage that they deserve, I will. It's the reason why I canceled the sit down with Malik Wright happening on Mondays and Wednesdays. And I said, you know what? I'm going to give the Bengals fan base a special show for them because this is your show. That's why it's called State of the Jungle. Bengals fans, you should be excited because what is happening before our very own eyes is the Bengals are now the most feared team in the AFC. The Bengals are now the big brother of the AFC. The Bengals are looked at as the team that's the measuring stick of the AFC. It's a changing of the guard. Something beautiful is happening right before our eyes. Also, we had a lot of Bengals fans out there saying, hey, I don't know if this defense can still perform at an elite level without Chidobe Awuzie. Chidobe Awuzie is one of my favorite corners long before he came to the Bengals. I always knew that health was the one thing that was separating him from being great. He proved that in Cincinnati. Now, guess what? Eli Apple, Cam Taylor-Britt, Mike Hilton, those guys have stepped up to the plate. Don't tell me Lou Anarumo doesn't deserve to be a head coach in the NFL. I've been beating that same damn drum from the beginning when it was just me by myself, when nobody believed. When people were saying hire Todd Grantham, when people were saying bring Mike Zimmer back. And now we're seeing Lou Cook. We're seeing what this defense can do. We see what happens when you get a group of men believing in a common goal, playing selfless. That is what we see right now on the football field when it comes to these Cincinnati Bengals. And I'm going on a passionate, long rant about the Bengals because, goddamn it, they deserve it. They deserve it. Nobody's talking about it enough. The Bengals are the team to beat in the AFC. Say it with me. The Bengals are the team to beat in the AFC. Say it with me. The Bengals are the team to beat in the AFC. Questions are getting answered. I love what we're seeing in the comment section, Daniel. They got to play us in the absolute. It's absolutely true. It's absolutely true. I'm jazzed up. I'm pumped up about this team. I knew they were going to beat the Chiefs. I proclaimed they was going to beat the Chiefs. And guess what? God damn it, they beat the Chiefs.
And another little thing about the game in general, I don't like to sit here and talk about what ifs, this and that, this happens, this happens. But there was a few plays where the Bengals could have honestly just blew them out of the water. And I hate to say it, but it's the truth. Everyone wants to talk about, oh, what if Travis Kelce doesn't fumble? What if Cam Taylor-Britt makes an interception? What if he gets that stop on fourth down? What if Tyler Boyd catches the touchdown instead of it hit him in the face mask? That game was very close for the Bengals controlling and dominating the game.
And it shouldn't have been
the whole time. Just a very few plays go our way, just a little bit different. And we dominate them start to finish. Like I said, I don't like to talk about what ifs, but everyone's talking about Travis Kelce. You need to talk about ours as well.
And it shouldn't have been in. The game shouldn't have been this close. I was watching that game live from the first Star Logistics Suite, and I'm telling you right now, I was watching that game, and I said, "Oh, the Bengals go up 21-3."
Yeah.
I said, "Oh, this Bengals football team is really it." The simple fact is, Joseph Asai, I love what we're seeing in the comment section. Keep it coming. That's why we do this show. It's about you. It's about the Bengals. It's about Houday Nation. Joseph Asai, amazing play. Jermaine Pratt, amazing play. There's a bigger topic at hand, though, guys. There's a bigger topic at hand. It's quarterback 1. It's QB9. It's Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow has performed at a ridiculously elite level. Joe Burrow has performed at a ridiculously elite level. And now the question is Joe Burrow the best quarterback in the NFL? Now, before you say, Malik, what the hell are you talking about? It's Patrick Mahomes. I didn't say the flashiest. I didn't say the most talented. I say I'm talking about performing at the quarterback position at an elite level. Is Joe Burrow the best quarterback in the NFL? I don't know how to answer that. But I can tell you this. There's not a quarterback in the NFL I'm picking over Joe Burrow. I think that it's up for debate. I think it's all about different strokes for different folks. I think Joe Burrow, in my opinion, is the closest thing to Tom Brady. I think Joe Burrow is the closest thing to Tom Brady. I told Daniel this before the start of the season. I said, he asked me, he said, you don't seem upset after the Super Bowl. Remember, we had that conversation too, Logan. Yeah. People were wondering, Malik, why aren't you upset after the Super Bowl? Daniel, what did I tell you? Daniel, what did I tell you after the Bengals lost the Super Bowl? We were sitting in a hotel room in Erlanger, Kentucky. What did I tell you after the Bengals lost the Super Bowl?
We had the conversation that, we'll be back next year. We got number 9 at QB. We're good.
Say it one more time.
We'll be back next year. We got number 9 at QB.
Now hold that thought. I told everybody the Bengals would be back next year. I often said this, and I've said this. I said the Bengals are about to go on a run. The Bengals are about to go on a special run where I think that they're building something very special in Cincinnati. The culture built in Cincinnati. I think the Bengals are about to go on a very special run where I think they're going to be the next dynasty. I truly believe that. It doesn't mean we're going to win the Super Bowl every year. Let me tell you that right now. It's a very hard thing to do. But I do think the Bengals will be perennial playoff contenders, and I think the Bengals will live in the AFC Championship for the next couple of years. I do. I think the Bengals are going to be a very, very difficult team to beat. There will be teams that come up. There will be teams that do great. But I think the Bengals are going to be one of the mainstays. Why? Because the way they play offense is not predicated on Joe Burrow passing for 400 yards a game. The offense meshes well with the defense. The defense meshes well with the special teams, and it all comes together to perform a special team. The Bengals are about to go on a special run. And I'm going to tell you guys something. I'm going to tell you Bengals fans something. It makes those in the media uncomfortable. They're not used to talking about the Bengals in this light. They're used to talking about the negatives of the Bengals, but I'm going to tell you this right now. The Bengals are on to something special. The run the Bengals are about to go on is going to be special. It would take a colossal F up for the Bengals to mess this up. It will. This Cincinnati Bengals football team that they've put together is like no other. And I told people, and I tweeted this out, and you guys can go look at my Twitter. I said, I don't think people realize, though, the Cincinnati Bengals I don't know if people realize how good Joe Burrow is. I was talking with some Bengals fans this past weekend, and they said, I didn't expect Joe Burrow to be this good this quick. I said, I did. It's not a cocky thing. I saw what he did to LSU. Trust me, I'm an Alabama Crimson Tide fan. I remember what we did to him the first year. See that way that guy came back like a silent assassin? Joe Burrow is the type of quarterback who thrives on people counting him out. Joe Burrow is the type of quarterback that thrives on people saying he can't do something. Joe Burrow is the type of quarterback that will take your heart out and feed it to you. He's the type of guy that I knew was going to take this Super Bowl loss and use that as his biggest motivator. The national media is uncomfortable with it. They're uncomfortable with it. Hashtag new media isn't, though. I'm not. And I'm not just saying that because I'm a Bengals fan. Anybody, any team will be lucky enough to have Joe Burrow as their quarterback. But our Cincinnati Bengals, we have Joe Burrow as our quarterback. And the way let me just shout out the Bengals fan base for a little bit. The way the Cincinnati Bengals fan base has rallied around this team and supports this team week in and week out and fights for this team on social media, it's special. Everything about the Cincinnati Bengals, from the organization to the fan base, is special. So you guys deserve a round of applause. You guys deserve a clap. Seriously. I resonate with a guy like Joe Burrow. And I'm going to tell you why. And I'm going long-winded, Logan, and you can slap me at any point in time.
You're good.
I'll tell you this. I resonate with Joe because I'm very similar in my profession. I strive for greatness. I strive to be the best. And I want to do things correct. I obsess over perfection. So when I was watching a lot of film about this guy and seeing how his mental makeup was before he came to the Cincinnati Bengals, I was looking at Justin Herbert. I was looking at Tua. I had a friend of mine named Grant Dickman. He called me and he said, Malik, you need to check out this guy, Joe Burrow. He told me that. And I said, okay, I'll start doing that. And every Saturday we would watch LSU games together. We saw every single game together. I'm telling you right now, the Bengals are building something special, and it's because of who they have at quarterback. The way that these guys believe in him, the way these guys get behind him is like second to none. I just want the Bengals fan base to start walking around the same way the Patriots fan base did, the same way the Steelers fan base did. Sure, we haven't gotten a ring yet, but damn, are we close. Walk around with a sense of pride. Don't worry about, who do we have to play next week? Who's out? I don't care who's out. I want to face your best. I want the Bengals fan base to walk around with that type of confidence. Because this team is special. Again, I do this show because not only do I break news and all that kind of stuff, I'll tell you like it is. If we suck, I'll tell you we suck. If we're good, I'll tell you we're good. This Bengals football team is damn good. It's Super Bowl contenders, should be Super Bowl favorites. I'm tired of hearing about the Bills, who underachieve every year. I'm tired of hearing about the Chiefs, who we beat every year. Let's talk about the Bengals, and let's keep the conversation on the Bengals. Let's keep the focus on this Bengals football team, but not just this Bengals football team. Let's keep the focus on this city.
Malik, we got a comment here from Daniel. He says, I've always supported this team, but Malik, you have ramped up my excitement from this offseason Easter egg to this exciting speech.
Oh, man, I appreciate that, man. I appreciate you, Daniel, for supporting the show. I'm going to tell you this right now, man. The swagger that is around this team, the swagger that is around this city, second to none. This Bengals football team is going to be going to run. I can tell you that right now. I'm predicting right on my show, and I said it already a couple shows back, the Bengals are going to win the Super Bowl this year. We're going to have a parade in Cincinnati this year, guys. We are. I just want this city to start acting more with a sense of confidence. Because, again, what the Bengals have done, this rebuild was pretty quick.
It was awesome.
What the Bengals have done is amazing. It's amazing. I just want y'all to know this team is locked in. And who we have at quarterback, doesn't matter what other people say. Is Joe Burrow the best quarterback in the NFL? I want you guys to know who you have at quarterback. I want you guys to know who you have at quarterback. But take Joe Burrow. I remember last year when things were getting rough, a buddy of mine told me he would rather have Justin Herbert. Those debates have died down. We don't even hear about that debate no more.
No.
Yeah, Curtis, I like that. Give Zach Taylor his due, but not only Zach Taylor, give Lou his due. Give this coaching staff their due.
Give the front office.
Give the front office their due for changing their ways, changing their stripes. I'm just telling you guys, this Bengals football team is special. Really damn special. And I don't care where they have Joe Burrow ranked, because guess what? Patriots fans, for a large part of Tom Brady's career, had to fight for Tom Brady's rightful spot as the best quarterback in the league. He wasn't always the most talented. And that's fine. When people want to compare their quarterback to your quarterback, tell them, I don't care. All we care about is the W's. All we care about is the wins, because that's all that matters at the end of the day. That's all that matters at the end of the day. We get so caught up in who's the best quarterback in the NFL. Hey, I want a winner. I want a winner. I want a guy that knows how to win. I don't care about MVP awards. I don't care about Offensive Player of the Year awards. I care about wins, championships, legacy. I want a Super Bowl so bad for this city, because the Bengals have the best fan base in the entire NFL, in my opinion. So loyal, so diehard. Again, you're always going to have your negative ones who don't believe, but I'm telling you right now, Luke, run through a damn wall for me, man. Run through a damn wall for me. I see your comment. I just want people to start operating with a sense of pride. This team's special. This team's special. Before we get to the Browns Bengals prediction, if you're looking to start your career as a broker today, make sure you guys apply to First Star Logistics. It is second to none. There is no better work atmosphere with better people than First Star Logistics. I spend a lot of my time here. If I'm not home, I'm here. I got a chance to go to dinner with a lot of the employees here, got a chance to go to concerts and experience so much since I've been here, since I moved here. They've taken me in. They treated me like family. If you're looking to start your career as a broker today, no better place than First Star Logistics. Want to keep it going, though. Bengals take on the Browns this upcoming week, Logan.
Yeah.
The Browns have been our kryptonite, much like the Chiefs. Kryptonite has been the Cincinnati Bengals. And I know a lot of people are probably questioning, can the Bengals beat the Browns? Logan, I'm going to let you start this one off.
I hate that it's even like a question. Like, we're clearly the better team. I don't think that's anything anybody's going to debate about. But like you just said, for some reason, we can't do it. It seems to be this last weird hurdle Joe Burrow has to figure out. And I'm very confident he's going to be able to do so. This Browns team has a lot of flaws. I mean, for Christ's sake, they didn't even score an offensive touchdown last week. There's so many ways you can attack this Browns team. The Bengals are far and away the better team. There's just something about it. Like, we just can't do it. I mean, I'm confident we can get it done. But, I mean, something always goes wrong against the Browns. I don't know what it's going to be this week. Hopefully nothing. But, I mean, I'm extremely confident in the football team we're going to put out there. Like I said, the Browns have a ton of weaknesses. They didn't even score offensively last week. Kyle Allen threw for 200 yards. They give up a lot of touchdowns to running backs. They're just not the best football team in the world. But like you said, for some reason, we can't figure it out. And hopefully that starts this Sunday.
I think the Bengals are going to beat the Browns this week. I think Joe Burrow overcomes that hurdle, and the Bengals overcome that hurdle. I can't wait to see Denzel Ward versus Jamar Chase. I'm going to keep it simple as that. The Bengals' key to beating the Cleveland Browns is simply not letting them get up early, taking advantage of your opportunities, go down the field and score, make them play from behind, make them one-dimensional, make them have to pass. Let's see what Deshaun Watson can do. That's what I want. I think the Bengals are going to make a statement, another statement this upcoming Sunday, and I'm here for it. I'm pumped up for it. But we want to get to some of these questions. Danny, I see a question here. And somebody said, Keith Bradley, our guy Keith Bradley, he says, what did they see when they hired Zach and Lou? What the F are the Bengals doing well? Folks, the joke is on you. That's what he said. What did I see when the Bengals hired Zach and Lou? I'll tell you right now. When the Bengals hired Zach, and I remember when I was told that they were hiring Zach, I was kind of beside myself. I followed Zach Taylor briefly. I knew what he accomplished at UC, and it wasn't too impressive. And so I was hoping to see him improve as a play caller. Obviously, it was rocky. He didn't have his players in here, so on and so forth. A guy like Joe Burrow will always make, a guy like Joe Burrow will always make his coach look a lot better than what he is. But I do think that Joe Burrow was having a similar effect on Zach Taylor to what Drew Brees had on Sean Payton. So I think good things come to those who wait. And I can always appreciate the Cincinnati Bengals organization for being patient and waiting to see it through. So I think that When the Bengals hired Lou, I remember everybody was like, Lou's this, that. Lou. I knew Lou already. I followed him a little bit because I knew that he was in Miami. My dad was a Miami Dolphins fan, so I was very familiar with his game. You know the Shaq meme. I wasn't familiar with your game. I was actually familiar with his game. And I know Lou was people don't know this. Lou was a big reason why the Miami Dolphins drafted Xavier Howard. He pounded the table for Xavier Howard. And the Dolphins weren't even looking at him. And then they wind up drafting him. And we all know how Xavier Howard turned out to be a phenomenal cornerback in the National Football League. Lou, so to see Eli Apple have this turnaround in his career is not shocking to me because this is what Lou's like. You know how you've played NBA 2K, like, and you have coaches with a certain badges. Lou's badge is getting the best out of cornerbacks, getting best out of defensive backs. So it's no shock to me that guys like Von Bell, guys like Cam Taylor-Britt, Eli Apple are all coming along strong, and it just seems like the cornerback room is still operating at a fantastic pace.
I think they just saw the potential. You know, I'm sure they could have hired other candidates that maybe could have given them more success year 1, year 2. But I think the Bengals knew what was the point of that? We didn't need the instant success. They saw the vision. They found people who were willing to buy into a similar vision, to buy into the potential of these people, and you couldn't have hired anybody better.
So we got a question here. This was from early in the show. Some people were asking about Dax Hill. Mr. 24 Universe said, "What's wrong with Dax Hill?"
I don't know anything to be wrong with Dax Hill.
Yeah.
I know he was injured a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
And he had a stinger at one point, but I'm not under the I don't know of anything being wrong with Dax Hill.
Lou's said it time and time again, you don't rotate your corners, your secondary guys.
Yeah.
Obviously, we all want to see him play a little more. But his time's going to come.
Yeah.
It will. It will.
So if you guys got any questions, make sure to drop them down in the comments below. But we got a question here from Jake. Jake said, "Hey, Malik, do you think the NFL will ever do an NFL draft lottery system, you know, like how the NBA and how the MLB does?"
I don't foresee that. I mean, I think the NFL will definitely adapt to certain things in the future and things will change, so on and so forth. But you know, yeah, no, I don't think the NFL is going to do that.
It usually just takes place to prevent tanking. And the NFL is one of those sports where it's not like really one player makes or breaks your team. Obviously, the quarterback's important, but it's really to prevent tanking. I don't think that's like a massive issue in the NFL like it is in other sports.
So as we're waiting for some of these questions, I've got a question, and this is about the upcoming matchup. Logan, what did you see out of Deshaun Watson? Because I know you watch, the Browns play. Talk to the viewers a little bit. What should they expect out of Deshaun Watson this upcoming week?
Well, I mean, if you're going off of the Houston game last week, you're going to expect a whole lot of nothing. I mean, the guy didn't even look like he could throw the ball half the time. And I know it's rusty. He even said it after the post game. It's been 700 days, and he felt every single one of them. And yeah, he did because he played terrible. Obviously, Deshaun Watson was once upon a time one of the best young quarterbacks in the NFL. So I think, you could probably expect a little bit better, but he also just played one of the worst defenses we've ever seen. Not just like now, but they're just historically bad.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, he struggled. Yeah, he hasn't played in 700 days, but now you're going against one of the better defenses in the league. So it's just like, I don't like you truly don't know what to expect, but I expect him to turn around and hand the ball off to Nick Chubb a whole lot.
We got a question here from Matt, and I love these questions we got. What are your guys' thoughts on Zach Taylor bringing Jamar into the backfield split of P-Ryan?
Love it. It's so innovative. This is what I was calling for before. This Bengals offense has the ability to do something so special. It's funny. I play Madden a lot, and if anybody ever wants to play me Madden, you certainly could. But there's a package in Madden called the Debo package. It's very similar to what the 49ers do with Debo Samuel. When you have a receiver, a unicorn at the wide receiver position like Jamar Chase, you can do fun things like that. The weird thing about Jamar Chase, he's built like a running back. So you can put him in the backfield. You can hand him the ball off and things of that nature. So, yeah, I love what they do with Jamar Chase with that. And it also makes the defense, it forces the defense to, adjust. Like if you see when they put Jamar Chase in the backfield like that, he was able to split out, and then he had George Karlaftis on him, which allowed for Chris Evans to come on open for his touchdown, right? I'm going to start breaking down film with Daniel. If you guys don't know this about me and Daniel, we're nerds when it comes to breaking, like literally nerds when it comes to breaking down film. And it allowed Chris Evans to come wide open in the flat. The linebackers lost, and they didn't know who they were to cover. And that's the type of innovative stuff that we were talking about. But yeah, I love it.
I mean, there was even times last week where Tyler Boyd was in the backfield. It hasn't just been Jamar Chase. And I think, this could just be kind of out of nowhere, but I think their emergence of Trent Irwin has made them feel more comfortable throwing people in the backfield, being able to do some of that stuff.
Yeah.
Again, it just comes back to having a complete team. You can throw people all over the place when you can trust other people can do other jobs.
For sure.
We got a question here from Pedro. Out of the next 5 games, or hi, Malik, how do you feel when it comes to the next 5 games that beating the Browns and beating the Bills, will they be the most important achievements that happen?
I think it would just tell you that this Bengals football team has reached a new level.
Yeah.
Beating those teams. I think beating the Browns would just tell this team that, okay, we are better than what we've shown against this team and we can beat them. I think right now it's just a mental hurdle right now. But I think the Bengals coming off this Chiefs victory, they have all the momentum in the world. And they're going to look to make a statement. And I can't wait to be there this Sunday.
There's a statement to be made in every game the rest of the year. Obviously, we can't beat the Browns. You can do that. You're going to go face one of the best head coaches of all time. You can beat him. You're going to go play the best quarterback of all time.
Right.
Okay. Then you're going to go play Josh Allen on the Bills. Everybody talks about like they're the best team ever. Okay. And then you're going to go play the Ravens. Everything they have is right in front of them, and they can continue to prove everybody wrong.
I absolutely love the comment section right now. They're answering their own questions, but Eric has a question. Seeing how Lou develops corners and the steady progress of Cam Taylor-Britt, how long until we see his massive breakout 2 interception like shutdown corner game?
I would say that probably not coming until next year. I think that there's going to be a lot of learning still this year. This is his first year. He's a rookie. Came out from an injury, things of that nature. He could prove me wrong, and he could go pick Deshaun Watson off twice, or the following week pick off the GOAT Tom Brady twice. He could go do that, but I don't think that that's indicative of if has arrived yet at the cornerback position, because I think that it tells you a lot if you're not actually being thrown at.
Yep.
If your coverage is so tight and teams don't want to throw your way. But Cam Taylor-Britt looks damn good. Looks like a home run pick.
Absolutely. I agree.
Question here from Bricktop is asking, we talked about this a lot last week. Hey, boys, do you think that they will institute a strict 50-50 split between Joe Mixon and Samaje Perine?
I think they're going to ride the hot hand, and I think the hot hand right now is Samaje Perine. He just runs the offense a little bit more efficiently. I love Joe Mixon. I think the Bengals love Joe Mixon. Joe Mixon's certainly going to obviously get his carries. Joe Mixon's still going to start the game off as running back 1, but you can't not play a guy like Samaje Perine after what he's done this season.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of how my mindset's been as well. I'm hearing some of the comments today from Zach and Brian. Callahan doesn't really reassure that to me, to be honest with you guys. I think it deserves to be some sort of 50-50 split. You can't take Perine off the field. He's been phenomenal. But regardless, you have to run the ball. I think riding the hot hand is always how the running back room should be handled. But we're just going to have to see.
Right.
And Browns can't stop the run, so it's a good week to find out.
Oh, absolutely.
Jacob is asking about the same topic. He's saying, is there any chance that we restructure or cut Joe Mixon?
The Bengals don't restructure contracts, so unfortunately, I don't see them restructuring anything.
Yeah, I mean, maybe the latter, but that's off-season stuff.
Jake is asking, do you guys think that both coordinators return next year?
I'd be very shocked if they both did. I definitely could see Lou getting a head coaching job this year. I think that what he's done, and I think even this game, I know that he turned a lot of heads with beating the Kansas City Chiefs with the core that he did have out there. That's not a knock against the core that he had out there, but a lot of people thought the Chiefs offense was going to roll on us, and they didn't.
Yeah,
they did anything but that.
I think it always comes back to how many openings there are. I think Lou certainly should be at the top of everybody's list.
Yeah.
Brian Callahan deserves a lot of credit as well. But there's not too many openings right now. I know it'll definitely open up. But we'll kind of have to wait and see for that. I don't think they should. There's no way Lou should be back in Cincinnati next year, but I sure hope he is.
Keith asks, Malik, will it matter if Hurst can go or not? We really need his energy.
I think Hurst might be down this game.
Yeah,
but I definitely think that guy's a ball of energy. My guy Rohan's in the comment section. Appreciate you for supporting, brother. I think Hurst will still be on the sideline and things of that nature.
We're going to go to Rohan's comment, actually. He said, who do you want to see in the playoffs as the first game, assuming Cincy does not get the number 1 seed?
Give me the Miami Dolphins, man. Give me the Miami Dolphins. Those damn Dolphins fans have been running their damn mouth talking about if Tua went out the game, we would have did this and what it did. I guess y'all forgot y'all were down 14, right? I mean, the Bengals scored 14 points on y'all. So I guess we're in denial about that. But give me the Miami Dolphins because my dad's a Dolphins fan. And guess what? As Joe Mixon says, line it up. I want to run that fade one more time. So yeah, give us the Miami Dolphins one more time, just for the simple fact that I want to shut them up. And if we can't get them, give us the Ravens.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of like those answers. I'll play anybody. That's kind of how my motto is. But yeah, the Dolphins would definitely be a little fun one.
No, I take that one personal because it was a lot.
Yeah.
It was a lot of trash talk.
Yeah.
And they talking about some because Tua wasn't in the game. Oh, this happened. I mean, that's a weak excuse that y'all gave because the Bengals defense was already styling on them. And I keep trying to tell y'all, the Dolphins, man, I can understand you only play who's in front of you. But every single time they face a tough team, they lose. Every single time. They face the Niners. Brock Purdy and the Niners beat them. So, Rohan, I appreciate you for supporting, brother, and being in the comment section. We got to get together now that I'm in the city, bro. But, line up the Dolphins, man.
All Dark is asking, what do you think about Mike Hilton's game against the Browns? Watson is rusty, not great throws, and cornerback blitzes.
I mean, you can mix up a lot of things. You're going to have to mix up a lot of things with Deshaun Watson. Not necessarily, because he, like I said, he was once upon a time very good. He played horrible last week. The harder you can make life on him, the easier this game's going to be.
Jacob asked, or not a question, but Burrow's final throw on Sunday was one of his best ever. Game on the line, defender right in the face, and he hit T in the chest, who was blanketed.
Yeah, I don't know who said it, but maybe it was Zach Callahan. If you throw the ball a centimeter in any other direction, it's incomplete.
Joe Burrow's elite. His ball placement's elite.
One of one.
Trying to tell people he's of the old school type of quarterbacks,
Yep.
like that. Like the last of the Mohegans, who just play the quarterback position at an elite level, not interested in the sexy throws and stuff like that. And I also want to tell people this too. I told people Joe Burrow's legs was going to be a big factor this year.
Yeah.
I told people Joe Burrow's legs are going to be a big factor this year, and we're seeing it.
The Platypus is asking, I absolutely love the username. Should Sam Hubbard be getting more praise for his play this year? He has been a stud all year long.
Man, Sam Hubbard, man, he's impressed me, man. He's become so much more than just a last of the Joe Higgins, man. Sam Hubbard, man, has been great, man. Him running the ball, man, it's been great, man. It's been, he's progressed so much, rather than just being a run stuffer. The guy, he just works his tail off, man. And you see it on the film over and over again, man. He just works extremely hard, man. And you see it. I think him and Trey complement each other great. I had a great chance to talk with Trey Hendrickson last week, literally right before the Chiefs game, man. He was just awesome. We were talking to him about him and Sam's camaraderie, and it's just awesome, man, to see Sam Hubbard, turn into what he has turned into, man. It's been great.
Yeah, he's just such an easy guy to root for. Everybody knows. I mean, the Ohio State kid. I mean, even just outside of that, such a great guy, A plus human being. And it's a lot easier when you play as well as he does too. He's kind of evolved so much more from his once just elite run stuffing. His pass rush has taken a massive step forward this year, and it's been a big reason why the Bengals defense has continued the success it's had.
I love this question here from M. Parker. He's asking, if Lou leaves, who do you think Zach goes after for the defensive coordinator position?
I think a lot of people are going to be knocking down the door to become the defensive coordinator of the Cincinnati Bengals, but I have a name for you. If Lou was to leave to become a head coach and we don't promote somebody from within, I would personally love to see Marion Hobby be promoted to defensive coordinator personally. That's just me. But if they said, I know Marion did retire at one point in time and he came back out of retirement, coach the Bengals D-line, stuff like that. But if we had to get somebody outside, give me Vic Fangio. Give me Vic Fangio. Right now, he's like a defensive analyst or a senior defensive assistant for the Eagles. They don't need him. Like, you know what I mean? Like, come on, Vic. Come on, Vic. Come to Cincinnati. Coach his defense.
Chris Rucker has a question about this Sunday. Is DJ Reader versus Nick Chubb the biggest matchup for this game?
For sure. For sure. I mean, DJ Reader is a man among boys. I understand the position he plays isn't always the sexiest to talk about, but man, at the end of the day, I think DJ Reader is a baller, man. And I think that as long as he could dictate the line of scrimmage, man, I think we should have a lot of success. There's no stopping Nick Chubb. It's only you can slow him down. So
I think that kind of goes back into the linebackers as well. You have Logan Wilson, who didn't play his best game last week. Jermaine Pratt has been continuously rising on his contract year, but he's been playing hella good football, bro. It's just unreal how good Jermaine Pratt has been playing.
For sure.
So outside of DJ Reader, you're looking at those two next.
Pedro is asking the question, Malik, if you got to pick two members for the Ring of Honor, who would you select? And do you think Kevin Huber will be a future member?
Oh, man. I think he should be a future member for sure. But the next member of the Ring of, I like that question, man. I like that question a lot, man. I do.
A lot of different ways.
But I like to see Ocho Cinco.
Yeah.
I'd like to see Ocho Cinco in the Ring of Honor. I know that he had a what's the running back name, my man? That played for the Cincinnati Bengals. He left us and went to play for the Patriots. He was fantastic when he was here. I'm blanking right now.
Is he the really long name?
No, he played for the Corey Dillon. I think Corey Dillon. I know that was a fractured relationship at one point in time. But I love to see Corey Dillon come back to Cincinnati and be honored, man.
Daniel Clemens is asking, Malik, how do you feel about Cincinnati chili? Switching up the questions here.
Skyline. I'm a big Skyline guy. Also, Gold Star isn't bad either. But I'm a big Skyline guy. Cincinnati chili, all in all, I'm good. I'm support y'all, man. Let's go.
Smart answer. Not picking one.
It's fantastic.
Monica is asking the question, switching it up a bit. We have Von Bell and Jesse Bates on our team next, or will we have both them on the team? If not, who would you like to see?
I think we're gonna have Von Bell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it sucks, but I mean, that's the reason you draft Dax Hill. There's a lot of the reason. Like they've been hinting at it for a while. Sadly enough, Von Bell's just kind of been irreplaceable. He's a captain.
For sure.
Everybody speaks so highly
He's
of
the
him.
enforcer, man.
Yeah, and that doesn't, that's not taking anything away from Jesse Bates, but somebody's gonna want top dollar and somebody's not. And sometimes that's the deciding factor.
Yeah.
We got Keith Bradley in here saying Joe the Conductor.
Love it. Who started that nickname?
I don't know.
Wonder who that was. But our guy Daniel Gable is asking, do you think the Bengals will get two or more or more or less two home playoff games this year?
I think the Bengals getting a home playoff game this year. I do. Yeah. I think the Bengals gonna wind up winning the AFC North. I keep telling everybody that. I think the Bengals gonna wind up winning the AFC North.
Yeah, the Ravens always just find a way to mess it up, man.
Yeah.
I liked it.
Look, I'm here for it now. I'm gonna be there. I am.
Mm-hmm.
Keith Bradley's asking about the offensive line. Will our offensive line be better this time around against the Clowns D-line?
I like that, man. I definitely would expect him to be. I think that a lot of fact. I mean, listen, the offensive line took a while for them to gel together, and we're now seeing it. They're playing like one of the best units in football right now. And all it just took was just being patient. And we see what happens now when Joe Burrow has time. We see what happens when Samaje Perine has time or Joe Mixon has time. They was figuring out before Joe Mixon got, the concussion. He had five touchdown performance.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
We're looking at, some of these questions people are asking about.
Love it. Keep them coming.
Off season. People are also asking about, do you think Jesse Bates, do you think he's going to take a pay cut or would he take a pay cut?
I don't think his agent, David Mulgeta, and yes, I'll say his name, David Mulgeta, I don't think his agent is going to allow him to take a pay cut. This deal would have got done had Jesse Bates would have stuck with his former agent, which was his childhood friend and stuff like that. But he, signed on with David Mulgeta. And David Mulgeta, if you know anything about him, man, he's ruthless, man. He's the person that negotiated Deshaun Watson's deal and got him his entire contract guaranteed, which created this snowball effect where all these quarterbacks are getting paid buku money and things of that nature. So I think when you look at it, he's going to try to get Jesse Bates paid, and he's asking for top dollar. He's asking for Jesse Bates to be the highest paid safety, although the production doesn't marry up with that.
If he was going to take a pay cut, he would already be extended. So I think that's your answer.
If you guys have any more comments, make sure to drop them down in the comments. And we got a question here, sticking with the Ring of Honor. Jason Whitworth. Can Jason Whitworth still be in the Ring of Honor?
Jason Whitworth.
Andrew
Whitworth. Yeah, Andrew Whitworth for sure.
I was gonna throw him out there.
Whitworth is a dog, man.
He played in the Super Bowl, isn't he?
Yeah, man. Yeah. We play against him at least. No, Whitworth for sure, man.
Daniel Clemens is asking for the offseason. What position do you think the Bengals will target in the first round of the draft this year?
So this is just my opinion, not based off of anything I've been told just yet. I'll know that more and more as the offseason progresses, as I always do. And you guys know I'm always gonna keep you guys in a loop based on what I'm hearing. But I would say defensive line. I think 3 tech and I think an edge rusher, a true adding to the edge rushing room for sure.
Yeah, it's a loaded cornerback class as well.
Yeah,
like we talked about it maybe last week or the week before, but kind of everything the Bengals need, the draft has a lot of. So it's a pretty good year. Like the draft lines up pretty well with what the Bengals need.
Right.
Good question here from Monica. She's asking, will the Bengals be the first in the AFC North this week? AKA, will the Steelers beat the Ravens without Lamar Jackson this week?
I actually have the Steelers winning this game. I think the Steelers are. I think it's a tough place to play in Pittsburgh, which is why it's so impressive what the Cincinnati Bengals were able to do when they went into Pittsburgh and they beat them with no Jamar Chase, with Joe Mixon getting injured and all this kind of stuff. I don't think the Ravens had that type of firepower on offense, and I certainly, although while I do like Tyler Huntley, I just don't think that this is the game where he shines.
Yeah, I mean, they're obviously similar players. He's a backup for a reason. Pittsburgh's a tough place to play. We all hate them, but it's a tough place to play, and there's not going to be a lot of points scored. So, it is what it is.
Keith is saying, Malik, why do you not work in the Bengals front office?
Hey man, I work in the Bengals front office without actually getting paid. I know what's going on. I'm like a fly on the wall in there.
Daniel Gable is asking Michael Mayer. I know we've talked about this before, but Michael Mayer to Cincinnati.
I would love it. I personally would love it, man. But I also love Hayden Hurst. I love how Hayden Hurst is fit in Cincinnati like a glove, and I know the Bengals love him. It'll be curious to see if they keep him.
And everybody's gonna ask about Michael Mayer, obviously the hometown kid.
If he's there, though.
Yeah, I'd say simple enough to answer your question. He won't be there.
Yeah, I don't think so.
He won't last to pick 31.
Yeah, 32.
Well, there's no 32. Dolphins don't have a pick.
Dolphins don't have a pick this year.
So,
Dolphins always gonna dolphin it up.
Question here from Mr. 24 Universe. Will T. Higgins get wide receiver #1 money?
I think he'll have to. I think he's deserving of it.
He's gonna get it from somewhere, whether it's here or somewhere else.
Yeah, he getting it. Cincinnati. He's gonna stay in Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Cincinnati's gonna roll out the Brinks truck for 2.
I agree.
I was told directly they want him.
Getting it one way or the other.
Switching it up to another team, Daniel Gable's asking, how much longer does Cliff Kingsbury last?
He should. If it's up to me, he won't have the key to the facility tomorrow. That's just me though.
Yeah, no terrible.
I don't make those decisions though.
Malik, who do you think is going to get the bag first out of the best quarterbacks in the league? Joe Burrow, Tua, Herbert, or Jalen?
I think Joe Burrow gets his contract extension this offseason. I do. I don't think the Bengals are gonna wait. He's eligible this offseason. I don't think they're gonna wait.
Yeah.
I don't think it makes a lot of sense for them to wait, especially coming off a Super Bowl victory.
I agree. Maybe like Jalen Hurts if they get eliminated first, or something like that too, if they get eliminated first. But I mean, I think they're all pretty much locked into a contract extension at this point.
Right.
Question here from Brandon. He's asking, a little late, but do you think we would have drafted Chase if we had signed Kenny Golladay?
I don't think so. I think that they would have. I think that they would have probably drafted Penei Sewell because I knew that that was actually a real discussion. But I think it was. You got to realize the situation around Kenny Golladay. Kenny Golladay reached out to the Bengals because his market wasn't shaping up the way he saw fit to. He said he wanted to play with Joe Burrow, and his whole thing was, okay, I could get, I could play on a 1-year deal with the Cincinnati Bengals, do great, and then re-enter the pool, so to speak. And I think that, when the Giants came calling and they said, hey, Kenny Golladay, we want to meet with you, and we'll offer you a multi-contract. He basically told the Bengals, hold up now, I'm going pretty much. I'm gonna go to New York and see what they're talking about. New York gave him a multi-year contract, and the rest was history. So, I mean, I'm happy that I'm happy that we didn't sign him. The guy is a stuck in the mud wide receiver. So, I'm just happy the Bengals lucked out.
He got paid. Good for him.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
Keep the questions coming, guys. We got an awesome question here from Jacob Payne. Which offseason move in 2022 do you think has made the biggest impact on the team so far this year?
The offensive line.
Yeah.
The offensive line. I think the offensive line has been fantastic. You know what I mean? And I think that goes without saying. I think that was the one true weakness. It's usually when a team goes to Super Bowl, they lose players. But the Bengals actually didn't lose. They lost C.J. Uzomah, okay. And then they actually added to the offensive line, and they really addressed the need. Like, it was really, really impressive to see them go out there and address the need and actually hit on a draft pick of, But I definitely think Ted Karras has been awesome. I think Lyle Collins has been good.
To kind of go another direction, not necessarily an addition, but re-signing Eli Apple has just at this point in time been such a relief. Like, I mean, obviously we drafted a corner. We would have had somebody else come in, but just knowing the system, obviously Cheeto got hurt. So having a guy who's already been here, who's already had some success here, be waiting to take advantage of that opportunity has been a major sigh of relief.
Absolutely. He's just a villain too.
Yeah. Gotta love him.
Everybody's asking the $1 million question. Boys, do you think Joe Burrow is going to keep his salary manageable to maintain the ability to pay other players?
I get the vibe from Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow's the type of guy, man, that understands winning. He understands winning. I don't think he's going to do anything that's going to hamper the team. Again, if he does go out there and says, hey, I want to get my bag, man, more merit, more power to him. He deserves it. And then some. So, I just don't see Joe Burrow doing that personally.
Yeah.
That's just me.
It is what it is. I said it last week. Just regardless of what happens, Joe Burrow is going to be your quarterback. No matter how much money he's making, just enjoy that.
The Platypus is asking about Clark Harris. Do you think he has a chance at a redemption tour next year?
Oh,
it sucks, but
Calvin Ahmad has been playing. I don't. I think the Bengals I think the Bengals just go younger all around. They already got the kicker, got the punter, got this. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. So like, you know,
you're young, special team. Specialist.
We got a Super Bowl question here. Would you guys rather face the 49ers for the third time in the Super Bowl or Tom Brady and the Buccaneers?
I mean, the Tom Brady and Buccaneers is a great narrative story, but I don't want to face Tom Brady in an elimination game.
No, thanks.
No, give me the 49ers.
Are you gonna pick Tom Brady over Brock Purdy?
I think Jimmy Garoppolo gonna be back.
Think so?
Yeah.
Well, if they get that deep,
yeah,
potentially.
Yeah. Keith is asking the question about Jackson Carman. Malik, what is the issue with Jackson Carman?
He's not good at football.
Sometimes it's that simple.
Yeah. Eric is asking, I feel like we are clicking and can run the table and let down games are a thing of the past. Am I overconfident in thinking in this?
Nope, you're not. Let down things games. When you have quarterback number 9, Joe Burrow, in this, you know, and these people, man, you know, at the end of the day, I think that, you know, superstitious and, you know, stuff of the past of the Cincinnati Bengals is dead. And they proved that all last year.
Matt Scott is asking, Malik, were you aware of the Bengals' interest in Cordell Volson prior to us drafting him? And has his performance been a surprise to you so far?
I was made aware of the Bengals' interest in drafting Jackson. Not Jackson. I'm thinking about the Jackson Carman thing. the Cordell Volson, his performance has definitely been a shock to me because I thought he would be better at tackle.
Yeah.
But him playing guard and with his size and the way he's able to just maul guys, man, that's a home run pick, man. And I'm just happy that, you know, I kind of lost confidence of the Bengals being able to draft offensive linemen effectively.
Yeah.
And then being able to position them. But when I was told that, you know, hey, Cordell Volson's going to play guard, I was like, all right, maybe this could actually work. And the guy's just a physical, he's a mauler.
Those FCS guys, man, are kind of different. Like,
yeah.
Those brothers don't mess around. Like they take football serious.
Yeah, man.
Question here from Brandon. What would be your favorite potential Super Bowl matchup this year?
Bengals versus 49ers. I would love that matchup.
Yeah, Bengals Bucks, obviously, kind of the same ones we just threw out there.
Oh, just going different. Like Bengals Cowboys. Let's make it happen.
Yeah, I'll play anybody in the NFC. That conference sucks.
I would love that matchup.
Keith is asking a question. Outside of sports, crew, what is your favorite thing to do? We'll start with Logan real quick.
Currently, I mean, I coach basketball, so that dedicates most of my time when I'm not doing this stuff. So currently, I'm fully focused on doing that. Just hanging out with everybody too. We do a lot of fun stuff since they've moved here. So kind of just hanging out with everybody, just staying involved in sports when we're not live talking about it.
Malik?
My favorite thing to do is hang out with Daniel, man. Daniel's my best friend.
That warms my heart.
You know, we spend a lot of time together, man, and it's cool to do this journey and have somebody that's experiencing it with you, man. Not trying to get all mushy on the show and stuff like that, but I really love that guy.
Oh man, that means a lot. I wish the audience could see my face right now because I have a massive smile on my face. But me, it's pretty much the same thing. I mean, we don't have a lot of free time, to do stuff. So I mean, just honestly hanging out with Malik, hanging out with everybody, watching shows, just even going out to lunch and stuff and just hanging out with everybody. I appreciate the family and the family quality and just the aspects of hanging out with everybody. So
sure.
That's awesome. Switching it back real quick. This is actually a unique question.
For sure.
Brandon's asking, what is your guys' favorite uniform combo of the Bengals?
Oh man.
Mine's pretty easy.
What's that?
I like the white or the orange tops, white pants.
Those are tough.
That's my favorite, and they never wear them. I know not everybody likes them, but
give me the orange jersey with the black.
That's
pants,
cool with me
man.
too. That's cool with me too.
You know what I'm saying?
I like the orange.
Give me that, man.
Love them all though. Very good.
Keep the questions coming, guys. Listen, this is a show for you. This is why we do this, man. We love talking with you guys.
Question here from Eric. You mentioned a film breakdown live. Can we get that weekly? This would be a perfect to fill Friday or Saturday night.
Man, I'm telling you. I know for a fact that me and Daniel will be down to do that for sure. Even Logan, I know we'll be down. we could definitely make that happen for sure. Maybe each week we'll if you guys want that, just comment in the comment section. If you guys want us to do a legitimate film breakdown weekly, we'll do it.
Pick out
We'll
our
do it.
favorite play from the game or something.
Just tell us. Just tell us whatever you want. We'll make sure it happen. We'll make sure it
our
happen.
command.
Unique question here from the Platypus. He's saying, who would you say is the biggest Bengals steal from the draft in the last 5 years? Making you guys think a little bit.
Man,
the last
5 years?
He said he would have to say Jermaine Pratt.
Oh, for sure. Jermaine Pratt. Jermaine Pratt was a guy that was coveted by the Patriots, man. Patriots wanted him so bad. Bill Belichick knew he was going to be a guy already. So I already know that they're going to try to go after him. When if he even sniffs for agency. Jermaine Pratt for sure. But if I got to go, Cordell Wilson's been great.
Logan Wilson, same position.
Logan Wilson,
Pratt,
dog.
Logan
Wilson. I know for a fact the Bengals coaches staff coveted him, man. They coveted him, and when they were able to get him, man, they were just all over them. They were over the moon for it.
Yeah,
but
it's a little tough to consider at this point because we've picked kind of high,
man.
So it's just a little. It sucks, but it's been a little easy for them to draft a little bit lately. I like Logan Wilson. Shot a lot. Tyler Boyd and Jesse Bates in the second and stuff too is still very impressive.
T. Higgins, man.
Yeah.
But if you want to talk about a steal,
yeah,
T. Higgins was a steal, man.
Yeah. Well, you can thank the Packers for
Chris Rucker is asking about DJ Reader. Is there any concern about DJ Reader's ankle? The Chiefs' running game was getting going last week. Is there any correlation between the two?
Nah, I wouldn't put. I think he's fine.
I think they just they'd rather them run the football.
Yeah,
that's all that was.
Monica is asking, will there be a first star suite ticket giveaway so we can hang out with you guys?
First star suite ticket giveaway. I might have some have an answer for you very shortly about that. We'll see.
Angela is asking, do you think the Bengals are going to the playoffs?
Yes, for sure.
Absolutely. Keith Bradley is asking the question, Malik, when will the Blackburns take full control of the Cincinnati Bengals?
Parties happen.
Yeah. Pedro is asking the question, would a Bengals versus 49ers in the Super Bowl feel like the torch is being passed from Joe Cool to the others? Or do you feel like Joe Burrow is more alike Broadway Joe?
I don't think history like that really creeps up with this team. I think everything is in the past. They're just on this team is on a different type of level. They're just alpha males and they want to be the best. They're not worried about what happened in the 1980s.
Definitely not.
So I think that's where we're gonna leave it, guys. I want to thank y'all so much. Seriously, you guys make Wednesday night so fun for us here in the First Star Logistics studio, and we love talking with you guys. Again, when we came here, we wanted to give the fan base, something to really, really look forward to from somebody who's actually in the know with knowledge, information. I love talking with you guys each and every single Wednesday. It warms my heart. You guys are awesome to talk with, and I really pride myself on being a different type of show. Doing this with my man Logan, having Daniel produce the show. It's really, really cool. So I just want to thank you guys. No voice, somewhat having a voice. I love what I do, man. And nah, Brick, man. It's not about getting paid and all that. Listen, man, we love what we do, man. We love talking with you guys. It's not about that for us. You know what I mean? We just love hanging out with you guys each and every single week. I'm just blessed. I'm appreciative that you guys consume the content that we put out and things of that nature. And hopefully we're doing a good enough job. And hopefully we're putting on for the city, man, because that's what this is all about. But that's all the time that we have here. You guys can catch us. You guys can catch us each and every single week. Same time, same place. We have the giveaway for the jacket. I almost forgot about that. You know what I mean? But the fact of the matter is, let's run that. Daniel, do we have that? Let's do it. Time to pick a winner for the Bengals White Starter Jacket giveaway. First and foremost, I want to thank everybody for participating in the First Star White Starter Jacket giveaway. But now it's time to pick a winner. Daniel, let's spin the wheel, see who won. Congratulations to @CSWELBAR for winning. I guess that spells Swells Bar for winning the Bengals White Starter Jacket giveaway. Make sure you reach out to us. And again, we've got one more starter jacket giveaway that we'll be giving away next week. So all you have to do is follow First Star Logistics and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thanks. Congratulations, CSWell Bar, for winning the Bengals White Starter Jacket giveaway. We appreciate you for following First Star Logistics and subscribing to our YouTube channel and being a supporter. We appreciate you. We have one more Bengals Starter Jacket giveaway that we're going to be doing. As always, make sure you follow First Star. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. And you know what? We got so many more giveaways planned for the future. We're excited to share it with you guys. We're pumped up. That's what this is all about, man. This is what, that's why I love First Star Logistics, because again, it's all about you guys. It's all about you guys who make this thing tick. So we got some other pretty cool giveaways planned for the future here. Like I said, I know people have been clamoring for the sweet tickets and all that kind of. We'll see what's up with that. But I got to talk to the powers that be. But I want to thank you so much for supporting us each and every single week. We will see you on Monday live for the sit down with Malik Wright. And I hear we might be in our new studio or something like that. So if you guys love what we put out and you like being a part of the journey, make sure you guys continue to support. Follow First Star Logistics, and we'll see you on Monday live on the sit down. Who dat?
Up all day and all night, pushing all the buttons up the